Welcome to this wonderful day in October the 16th. I can't believe it's already the 16th. Halloween is too close in the year 2025. And this is Talented Universe on the NDB Media Network. And I am just, since I usually forget silly little things, I am going to say thank you for the like from Kelly Lee Brown. They just threw up a like on Facebook. We do appreciate it. People that put likes up on YouTube, we cannot see them live. We look at them later. And we thank you in advance for any of those. Please like and subscribe our pages so you won't miss any more people from The Voice. I know some people say, I didn't know. And I said, did you subscribe? No. And I said, well, that's why. So please subscribe so you won't miss anything. Sometimes you might not see it announced on Instagram until it's too late, but then you can look at it later. So it's always good. But Marcia, how are you doing this fabulous day?
I am doing great. I love fall weather. It's probably my favorite time of the year. And I'm also very excited to talk to our guest today.
Yes, so am I. And I would like to introduce Kirbi from season 28 of The Voice.
Hello. Thank y'all so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you. Now, I will go ahead and ask my silly question. I think you kind of sort of started to answer it for me.
Mm-hmm.
When you walked on that stage, now you have done performances in the past, correct?
Yes.
But this is probably a little bit different.
Just a little
bit. Did you black out any and not remember things and had to look at it later and say,
yes.
Oh, that really happened?
I genuinely don't remember most of the things that I said. I do think a lot of the things I said were really stupid and probably got cut out because I don't know. I didn't know how to act up there. I was just so freaked out about the whole thing. So it was really funny watching it all back. I didn't even remember saying, Lord have mercy when the chairs.
Oh, you didn't? Really?
I didn't remember that at all. And I was like, oh, I said that. That's great. That's wonderful. And so it was like, I remember bits and pieces. I think after the first two chairs turned and I saw Niall and Michael's faces, I just stopped breathing, thinking, seeing, everything. I stopped functioning. So I locked in, tried to get the song finished, and yeah, it was.
So you kind of went in autopilot and you just sang, and
I definitely did.
Nothing else was going on.
Nothing else was computing. I was like, I can't, like, what is happening right now? It was probably the scariest but most fun thing I've ever done. I think I finally started to process things after I got off stage, like maybe an hour after I got off stage, and I was with my parents, and we were like, I basically looked at them and I was like, y'all tell me what happened because I don't really remember. So.
Well, that's cool. But I'm going to throw up two comments first, then I'll go to Marcia. But Marcia's going to get a kick out of this because Kelly Lee Brown says, tuning in from Alabama, from Muscle Shoals, Alabama. And Marcia was talking about that earlier with Kirby. So that's kind of funny. And this is a question that I'm going to throw out to you. It's from Justin Fields. Considering you're a Christian girl and likely have a way more experience spending time in church with women, especially country singers, you picking Niall almost felt like an act of rebellion. I gasp.
Yeah, I've had a lot of people express that they didn't expect me to go the direction I did. It's funny because I actually did kind of grow up in church, but musically, I didn't really like. I spent a lot of time in church, but I also spent a lot of time like listening to blues, soul, like Muscle Shoals music, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also was a very big pop R&B girl. I listened to everything, and I love to sing everything. I think. You know, I sang blues, soul, country, pop, everything growing up. And I've spent a lot of time around men and women in church, you know, so I admire every single musician out there, every single person. And I think I grew up watching Niall, like in One Direction and everything like that. I grew up watching Reba. I didn't know what exactly I was going to do when I got out there. I definitely did think I was going to go in the direction of Reba. But I was told before I walked out on that stage to follow what my gut was telling me to do.
Yeah.
So I just went with my gut, and I'm really thankful that I did, because I do believe that Niall is a great coach. And I look at everybody from, a personal standpoint, not a religious standpoint a lot of the time. And so I just felt like, every single one of them has something amazing to offer. I love every single coach, and my gut just told me to go with Niall.
Okay. I'll expand on that. Do you think one of the reasons might have been either all the girls yelling out in the audience, Niall, or was it you got to get that hoodie?
The hoodie did help. I'm not gonna lie. But no, it was funny because like I said, like I was blacked out in the moment. So I didn't even hear, like the audience was just like a whole bunch of around me. Like I couldn't make out anything anybody was saying. It was one of the hardest decisions I've ever had to make. I took a lot longer than it looked like on the television too to make the decision. And so I just really sat and like took a deep breath and thought for a while, and just kind of listened to that whisper in my mind and in my heart. And it was whispering Niall. But watching it back, I did hear the girls screaming Niall in the audience. So I think that could have helped a little bit too. Maybe that was the whisper that got into my head.
Well, Niall did say to keep him in the back of your brain, so
Yes.
and then when they started yelling his name, it just might have come flying out front.
Yes.
And it came right out your mouth. So there you go.
Came to fruition. I really, it was such a hard decision to make. I couldn't have gone wrong with any one of them, but I'm really
They're all fabulous.
amazing.
I mean, I know I would not remember anything that went on if I was up there in front of those people. I mean, it's just too much.
It was terrifying, but amazing at the same time. I admire every single one of them. Like they all have such amazing careers, and they're all such awesome people. And I don't know, they're iconic. Like they're icons. I literally knew every single one of them. So whenever I found out who the coaches were this season, I was like, oh Lord have mercy. Like we're going to have to sing in front of all four of them. So it was amazing though.
Yeah. I mean, I said, wow, that's a cool lineup. So it's like, I mean, I could tell when Snoop Dogg was on the first time, I could tell he had a great time. And I said to myself, I bet he's going to come back. And then he didn't come back the next season. So I went, okay. And then I heard he was coming this, and they brought Niall back, and Michael stayed, and Reba came back. And it was just like, wow.
Yes, definitely like an iconic season, all of them coming back, because I've kind of been able to see how all of them coach a little bit.
Right. Do you think that helped in your decision a little bit? You had seen how they'd coached in previous seasons?
I think so. Like I said, I don't think I could have gone wrong with any of them.
No,
I love all of their coaching styles. I don't know. I felt a connection with Niall when I was up there over the rest of them for some reason. And I guess in the moment, it just kind of worked out differently. I don't know. Like it was just what my gut told me to do. And I just felt like we really connected for some reason. Even though we might have like musical and, personal differences, I think that definitely there was a connection there. I think we both had a strong musical connection, and I just felt drawn to that direction.
Well, I'll tell you that does make a difference. Before I turn it over to Marcia, we have a couple of other people that have given us a like on Facebook. Reagan Roberts, Cam Winfrey, and Christy Oakley Kirby. I'm sure that's a relative of yours.
Yes, that's my mom.
That's what I kind of figured. But Marcia, I'll turn it over to you now.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, continuing with your blind audition, Snoop had some really wonderful, heartfelt words for you, and brought your mom on stage.
Yes.
How did she feel about that?
It was so funny because going into this whole experience, like whenever my parents found out I was going to be bringing them out there with me, I know that my mom and dad, I'm really thankful that they came along with me for that experience, because they're not the most comfortable on camera.
Oh boy.
So it was a really crazy experience for all of us to be there and to be in front of the cameras and all of that stuff. And we were all just cracking up because I just know we're really awkward. Like, we're just an awkward family. So I'm really glad that they were able to work with us on that. And so my mom had like personally expressed like, oh, I hope I don't have to go up on stage or anything like that.
Oh,
And so that's why I was like, oh, you want my mom to come up whenever Snoop said that. I was like, okay.
That's why you never say that before you go to something. You never say, I do not want to do, because it's going to happen. So. Sorry, Marsha.
She was so thankful that it did happen. It's so funny because my dad gets teased for not coming up on stage. But he said I was totally fine not getting caught up on that stage. I did not want to go up on that stage. I was happy it was Mom. But what Snoop said will always stick with me. I thought that those were such amazing words, and being able to kind of go up there and I was a little scared to go up there and mention my faith on that stage, but them all receiving that and connecting with me so well on that level was absolutely life-changing and empowering and amazing, and it made me respect them all so much more. And Snoop's words will always, they really impacted me, and I'm sure they impacted the rest of my family, because my mom and dad have always tried very hard to, lead me on the right path when it comes to my faith and growing up and what I believe in. And so I'm really thankful that they did, have that influence over me, because it's how I live my life, and I wouldn't be the person that I am without that. So it was it was amazing watching it back. I was teary-eyed the whole time. It was just,
it was beautiful to watch as well, and inspirational for people who are watching. And so where is your Nile hoodie right now?
So fun fact, during this whole process, I have been moving. Like, during the time that I was out there filming, I was in between homes. And so all of my stuff was thrown in with one of my friends, like at one of my friends' apartments, because I didn't have anywhere to go at one point. And so I just moved into my new apartment.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's in my new apartment. I've got it all on display in my new apartment. It's like top shelf, nobody's touching that thing, nobody's wearing it, it's mine.
So you haven't worn it either then?
I've worn it a couple times when it was cold, but I've tried not to eat in it or anything like that. I'm like, that's precious cargo right there.
And tell us about your journey toward being a singer, because you actually started out differently. I understand you were a dancer.
Yes. I started out at the age of 3 dancing, and I did competitive dance, and I grew up on stage. Like, I always loved to perform. I always loved to be on stage. I think I live up there. Like, that's my home, and that's who I am, is performing. And so I had stage experience prior to starting singing, and it's really funny because I couldn't hold a tune until I was 11.
Wow.
So I danced and cheered and all that stuff. And I've always loved like expressing and connecting with somebody on stage. That's something that I always strive to do, is make a connection. Like, if I can just make one connection with one person in the audience or over the camera, like who's watching me, I want one person to be able to connect with what I'm doing. And that's always my goal. And so when I started singing, I remember we were all shocked. I was in my 6th grade show choir program, and I got my first little solo, and my show choir teacher, Miss Behrens, went to my parents, and she was like, I think your daughter actually has a really good voice, and I think she should like pursue voice lessons. And all of us were like, huh? But we did it. And I started voice lessons with my first vocal coach, Miss Linda Young, and she really helped me find my love for music. And that's where I started singing like those Shoals tunes, like Brown, Etta James, Percy Sledge. And so that's a big influence on my vocal style. And then I absolutely fell in love with singing and music when I turned 11, and just, it never left me. And I'm here doing it now. So
we are so happy that you did help find your voice, because I've been enjoying your music so much. And speaking about dance, I did see some lovely pictures of you and your grandmother, and you were in your ballet costumes. And
yes. My grandmother was always one of my biggest supporters. She loved me and my sisters and my mom so much, and she She would come out to every single show, and she was like such a big fan when I started singing. And she fought cancer for most of my life, and so she has always been a really big inspiration for me. She's always been somebody that kept pushing me to never give up, and to kept pushing me to have faith in it, even when things looked really grim and I didn't understand what God was doing with me or what he had planned for me. And she always was that person I could call, and she would pray for me all the time. And she ended up passing right before I flew out to go do my blind audition. Wow. And so, but I know that it's weird because I don't know how to describe it, but it's like almost supernaturally, I felt that she was there or knew about it in a way. And she knew I was going to go do she knew that I had the opportunity to fly out and be on The Voice before she passed. And she was really excited about that. And so my biggest thing before I went out there was I just want to make her proud, and I don't ever want to give up, because I know, I'm hoping that she's here with me, cheering me on. And I definitely felt that she was there in that. So it was an amazing thing. And I truly feel in my soul that she knows the outcome and how it went. And I think she's excited. So.
And your song choice of God Only Knows.
Yes. I think it really helped me. So me and grandmother both were really big in our faith, like growing up. Like my grandmother was probably one of my biggest faith influences in my life. If I could embody who I want to be as a person one day, it would be her. And so she was just so strong and so loving, so caring, so patient, like everything you would think like an amazing person would be. That's who she was. And so me and her both shared a love for Christian music and for King and Country. And she would I would always send my songs to her. Like she'd be one of the first person I sent if I wrote any type of song, especially faith-based. Like she'd be so excited. And we both loved for King and Country, and we both loved, that genre of music. And so I don't think she knew before I flew out there that I was going to get to sing that song, but I did dedicate doing that song to her because I know that me and her really had a personal connection with that. And I think that she knew that I was singing that. I think it was just a really cool experience. I don't know how to describe it, and it's really hard to put it in words, but it being able to sing that song really empowered me and gave me the courage, if that makes any sense. Like I was if I could sing anything, I'd be wanting to sing this. So I'm really thankful that I got the opportunity to do that.
Thank you. And I know, Michael, there's some questions in the chat room.
Yeah, there's some questions and comments, so I wanted to go to a few of them.
Yeah.
Now, Kelly Lee Brown says, I think she's talking about your grandma, that you sang at her funeral.
Fun fact, I was supposed to sing at her funeral. It was like one of the hardest weeks of my life. Yeah. So I got deathly ill the night after she passed, like super sick. I could not sing. I didn't have any voice in my throat to be able to sing at her funeral, but I did take some time after the funeral to go by and sit at her grave and sing to her. She wanted me to sing How Great Thou Art at her funeral, and unfortunately I just was too sick to be able to do it. But I'm happy with how it worked out, because I got to kind of, after everything had died down, I went by and sat down and sang that song for her, the whole song, and kind of just, sent her off in my own personal way. And I actually really am thankful that I got to do it that way.
Yes.
Now, your mother has a comment.
Okay.
I have to post that up.
Okay.
It was a wonderful experience. Snoop and all the coaches were so kind. And I mean, I could see that. I mean, it came right through on the show. I mean, they were just so wonderful.
Yes, they were. It was amazing. And, all of us were just blown away by the whole experience. And, all of them are such genuine people, and you can just feel that, like, they're very real and they're very kind and honest. And it was so amazing to stand up there, even if no chairs had turned and I got the chance just to speak to all four of them and, sing for all four of them. It would have been enough for me. Like it was just such an amazing, every single bit of it. I have I'm still processing everything, but it's been just mind blowing.
Yeah, when you didn't care if you got one, you got 4.
That was crazy.
I mean, but you know what? You said I don't care, and you got 4, and hey, there you go. And then you had to make that decision.
Yes.
There's
sorry.
Oh no, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I didn't expect 4 at all. I was like, if I could just get one of them to turn, even if, my hope was that one of them would turn. But like I said, I would have been happy if none of them turned. I just wanted the chance to stand up on that stage and show them who I am. And so I still feel like I'm lying in a way when I'm like, yeah, I got a 4-chair turn, because that was crazy. I'm just so genuinely thankful and blown away. And it's really changed my life and how I think about myself as an artist and as a musician. And it's really empowered me to just continue pursuing this career, because it is what I love to do. And getting that kind of validation was absolutely a huge blessing. It was so insane.
And Reagan Roberts says, I think you choosing Niall was the best choice out of the other judges. I feel like his style of music really fits your voice. Hope he's a great coach and that you win this season. I also want to commend you on being open about your faith. God bless.
Thank you so much, Reagan. That is so kind. I definitely think I made a great decision choosing Niall. I'm super excited to see how this season pans out, and I'm so thankful for all the encouragement that I've received, and everybody that has, commended me for speaking on my faith. You don't realize how many more people are out there like that think like you and are excited for you until I'm just so thankful and blown away by every single person that's supported and reached out. And I don't even know how to put in words how thankful I am for how every single bit of this has gone in my life. Like, I don't even know what my life is right now. I'm just so excited. So thank you.
Yeah. And then here's one saying howdy from North Texas from Elizabeth Alice Benefield, I believe.
Howdy. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, you got fans from all over, don't you?
That's crazy. Sometimes I forget this is like a nationwide show.
Yes. No, I mean it's very true. It is.
Yeah, I was looking at your blind audition. It's got millions and millions of views. So
insane. I'm so I didn't know what to expect after it all aired and everything. I knew how crazy it was when I was out there and actually doing it, the blind audition and everything. And I didn't know what to expect whenever it all finally aired. So it was honestly just as nerve-wracking to watch it on the TV and be like, oh, what did I do? So it's awesome.
And this is probably the last one I'm going to have time to put up. But Cam Winfrey says, did you enjoy being in California? And was that the first time that you were in Cali?
I absolutely loved being in California. The weather is so beautiful out there, at least where I was, in the Los Angeles area. The weather was gorgeous. No rain. I think it sprinkled one time the entire time I was out there, and all of us were shocked.
That it rained, yeah.
Yes. It's beautiful, consistent weather. The food's so good. The people were super nice. I went and visited Santa Monica Pier and everything after my blind audition, and it was just so.
That's stunning. I've been there. Yeah,
stunning. I think it actually was my second time being in California. I've been out to Los Angeles one more time to do some songwriting and stuff. So it was really fun to come back and actually be able to spend, a pretty big amount of time in that area. I think I wouldn't mind living there if I ever had to move there. So it was a beautiful experience.
Oh, there you go. Marsha, going back to you.
Yeah, I know we're going to close in a few minutes, but I wanted to talk about Kirbi outside of the stage. I saw some fun footage of you with your animals, and
Yeah.
was it your the chicken is Cruella?
Yes, Cruella. That's my girl. I love her so much.
What a
Um,
perfect name. Because she
yes,
looks.
she looks like a Cruella. She's a diva. She's just the cutest thing ever. I love her. My mom and dad started that flower farm. They started out with the chickens, and they started the flower farm when me and my younger sister moved out. And so their form of being empty nesters was getting birds, pretty much. So had to fill the nest with some birds. And so they started out with the chickens, and then they got the ducks and the sheep. But I don't know why I've just loved Cruella since she was a chick. Like I actually knew Cruella since she was like a little baby chick. And she's just the goofiest, funniest chicken ever. Like she's touched by an angel, is what I like to say. She's just
Aw.
a very whimsical girl, and she is very sweet. She'll follow you around and talk to you all day, and then she'll walk in circles, and then she'll stare off out into the distance, and that's just about all she does. And it's just wonderful. She's
Mhm. And I also saw you talk about down to earth, Kirby. You had a millipede. Was it on your
amazing. Yes, I went to one of my best friends got married this summer, and it was an outdoor wedding, and so I found a millipede and basically carried it around with me the whole night. I don't like centipedes that much, but I do like millipedes because those are like the round ones that don't bite you. Um, but I did find out that they like secrete stuff, and you need to wash your hands after you pick one up. So if anybody follows my footsteps and wants to pick up a millipede, just make sure you wash your hands because they're kind of nasty too. But they're very sweet. I like that. Yeah, I grew up in the creek. I grew up outside. My dad used to take us all the time. I mean, I used to have like bug catchers. I'd catch frogs, millipedes, like all that good stuff. I grew up outdoors, and so it's never truly left me, even though I've kind of moved off to the city of Nashville. It's
Well, that's wonderful to hear. And thank you so much for being with us here today. We have enjoyed learning more about you and sort of sharing in your beautiful journey that you're still on. Looking forward to everything that happens coming up.
Thank you so much, and thank y'all for having me. I've had a wonderful time talking to y'all today.
Yeah, I decided to throw one more comment up, and this will be our going away, and then you can make a comment, and then we'll sign off.
Okay.
But Elizabeth Alice Benefield says, just to let you know, when you sang that song in the blinds, it really means a lot to me because I lost my mom back in 2020. And you are an awesome person, Kirby. God bless you and your gift. I will be cheering for you all the way from North Texas.
Thank you so much, Elizabeth. Those are such kind words, and I can't imagine losing my mom, and I'm so sorry that happened. I definitely felt that my grandmother was with me in that, and I'm so thankful that I was able to connect with other people who, have dealt with loss recently. It's been really tough, but I think, my faith carries me through everything that I do. And I'm so thankful that other people have felt encouraged in that. So thank you so much for cheering me on. I'm so excited for this season, and I really appreciate y'all watching.
Well, we have enjoyed it. And I know Marcia, and I say on behalf of Marcia too, thank you so much for coming, Kirby.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And we would love to have you back on when your journey is over. Or when you've got something that you have an announcement to release something at some point, we'd love to have you back.
I'd love to be a part of it. Thank y'all so much.
Oh, you are so welcome. And everybody out there, thank you for coming. Like and subscribe so you don't miss any. We do have Revel coming at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific time today. So in about an hour and a half that he'll be on our show. So everyone take care, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Thank y'all so much.